So, Aries, you met this person at a party, a gathering of some sort, and it looks like this person really nurtured this bond with you. And the thing about that is that they're the ones that was nurturing this bond. They're the ones that was coming on to you. They're the ones that were flirting with you. Okay? Now this person is a totally different person. Like the person that you met at that party is not the person who they are today. Now I'm hearing this person is having you investigate it. They're trying to find something on you. You might have been married to this person, or this could be like common law marriage or something like that. This person has hired somebody to try to find some kind of quote dirt that they can find on you, and the investigator keeps coming back telling that person, no, there's nothing. We can't find anything. And this person is like, wait a minute. How is Aries making so much money? What is Aries doing for money? Because according to this person, you must be doing something. They're insinuating that you were selling yourself, okay? Now, this person is the one that was after you, right? I see it. You don't have to tell me. I see it, right? This person was after you. This person is the one that was nurturing this relationship with you. And they were doing it long enough to get you hooked on them. And they did it on purpose. This is somebody who tries to be in control and who is extremely, I want to say extremely controlling. They're to the point where they're obsessed. This is somebody who, if you didn't put things exactly right, like say the cans in the cupboard, they had to be exactly a certain kind of way. The restroom had to be a certain kind of way. In this person's eyes, there could not be not one thing out of place. Not one thing could be moved. That's what I'm hearing. That's how controlling this person was. They were expecting you to put things in a certain kind of order in the house. There's something about the house being in order, but not just being in order. Because there's one thing to be in order, and then there's another thing to be like so what OCD. You know what I'm saying? Like OCD, like everything has to be exactly a certain kind of way. Now, it's not because this person has OCD. I'm not seeing anything like that. I don't think this person has OCD. It was more of a tactic to be controlling over you. It was their way of taking up your time. See, this person wanted you to take your time, or they wanted to use your time to make you focus on things that really didn't matter. It was more of them making sure that you were so focused on them and what they wanted, where you would like neglect yourself. You see, neglect yourself, neglect the relationships that you've had with other people. They did this on purpose. And then when you started like realizing, hey, I'm a human being, you know, I need a life too, because you started realizing, you looked around, right? At some point, we all do this. We look around and make sure, are we still heading in the right direction? Are we still going in the direction that we want to be in? Are we still in a place that we want to stay in, right? We all do this. We all evaluate our situation. The thing is that when you did it, you looked around and realized, no, this is not what you wanted. This person abandoned you. And they abandoned you a long time ago when they started putting these boundaries up. It's not really boundaries. They're calling it boundaries, but it's not really boundaries. It's like rules, like some kind of military rules that you had to live by that are actually inhumane. You're not a soldier. You know what I mean? Like, you're not a soldier. This person was trying to treat you as though you were a soldier. And I'm hearing it got to the point where, Like you couldn't even have relationships. I'm talking about, you know, just normal friendships with people. Because this person was constantly trying to take up all your time, and they were doing it on purpose. They were like giving you chores to do, you know? It was like, okay, you get off of work and then you need to do A, B, C, and D. So see, you're completely occupied. You're completely busy and being of service to this person. This person acted as though they had some kind of authority. They had some kind of they just have this air about them, like they have some kind of authority, or they have some kind of deeper understanding of things, or they were knowledgeable. You could have been much younger than this person, okay? And the way that they come off as somebody who, you feel like you're going to be a team with, but there was never a team. That's the problem. And I'm hearing that recently you wore something, you put on something, you wore something that made you look younger. I know it sounds crazy, like clothes. How can clothes make a person look younger? Well, it happens. I've seen it myself. And the thing is, you put on something that made you look younger. Now, it wasn't trashy, okay? It was actually a very fun thing that you put on. It could be jewelry, it could be earrings. I mean, it could have been anything. Like you put something on that was just fun and a part of your personality. Like maybe you went and you got yourself some Nightmare Before Christmas shoes, or you went and got yourself, you know what I'm saying, like a Betty Boop shirt, and this person's like, oh, that's for children. What are you doing? And they just went on and on about this, about you having an identity or choosing an identity that they couldn't control. Having a fun side of yourself that they couldn't control. Now, they still feel this way. And recently you did something that has triggered this person. And now this person wants to find out what's going on with you. You're not together with this person. Y'all are not together. Y'all been over a long time ago. This is it. This has been a done deal for a while. This person abandoned you. And I'm not talking about physically, I'm talking about emotionally. They abandoned you a long time ago. But oh no, they don't want to see that part. They only want to see the part that you left. You emotionally shut down on this person. And the thing is what, see, it's like they were expecting you to keep feeding into this connection. When they stopped feeding into this connection when they became a dictator. That's when they stopped. They stopped they stopped giving you what you needed. They stopped nourishing the relationship. See, but now you did something recently where you put on something, and this person is taking it as some kind of sign that you have somebody else in your life, or you're up to something. They're putting some kind of connection from something in the past where you wore something. Now, it could be exactly the same thing. Maybe you're putting on something that's like almost exactly the same. Like maybe you went recently and bought yourself a new pair of shoes, and they happen to be Nightmare Before Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Like was something that you had before. And they're like, oh, that's why something's going on. And it sounds crazy, okay? And it does. If you're saying it that sounds so crazy, I am totally 100% agreeing with you. But this person feels like you're hiding something. And it's like it's still none of their business. But that's the point they don't get. It's still none of their business. Whatever you have going on in your life still is none of their business. I want you to know something. This person, this has been like some kind of crazy, stressful situation for them. You know, you left emotionally. That's the part that's killing them. Is that emotionally you left. It's not because you left physically, however that went, but it's more because emotionally you're gone. These kind of people, I know I've said it so many times, but it's true. They always expect you to feed into the connection when they have completely stopped. They feel like you should take on 100% of the work of the connection. And that's the truth. They expect you to do it all. And this is somebody that has told you over and over again, well, if you were a real, quote, real, REAL, woman, you would do this. Or if you were a real, REAL, right, man, you would do that. No, it's like, is this a partnership or is this some kind of game? Because I'm hearing you were supporting this person. When this person was leveling up, maybe going to school, maybe to get an education, maybe to get that job that they wanted so badly, that raise, that promotion, who was behind them? You were behind them. You were supporting this person. You were being a team player. This person was not being a team player. It got to the point where you were being a servant to this person, and that's how it felt. It felt like you were an employee, and that was it. You were just doing your job. And there was no emotion connected to this person. The thing is, this person is angry. This is somebody who had a dog. They took your dog, I'm hearing, or your cat, or they tried to take your dog or your cat. Okay? That is definitely confirmation for somebody here. They took your dog, they took your cat. And they wouldn't give it back. For somebody here, that person also claimed that the animal ran away. The animal did not run away. This person took your animal from you. That's what I'm hearing. A dog or a cat. Okay? And I'm hearing they gave that animal to somebody else. Just so you wouldn't have that animal. Because the animal that you loved so much was taking your attention away from them. And that this is definitely for somebody here, okay? Now, for another one of you, I'm hearing that you had animals. You have dogs, cats, maybe birds, maybe fish, okay, or reptiles. But the thing is that your animals take up your energy. Your animals, you pet them, you care for them, you love on them. And this person felt jealous of your animals. That's how insecure this person was. Now, I know this is not for everybody. This part I know is not for everybody. Okay, I know this is not going to resonate with everybody, but this is definitely confirmation for a few of you. Okay, now I do feel like this person has told you and said something about that to you, claiming that you were some kind of animal hoarder, or telling somebody else around you where you heard this person claiming that you were an animal hoarder. They were doing that to make you feel like what you found important wasn't important. It was some kind of mental illness. So they were trying to say that you having a connection outside of the connection with them, right? You having an interest, just an interest in something else that was living other than them, that evolved around them, was some kind of mental illness, that you were just, something was wrong with you. And the thing about this is that what I'm understanding from this is what you were doing is that because you weren't getting love from this person, that you actually found the love that you weren't getting from this person from your pet. You needed that love because you're a human being. You're not like this person. This person is very cold-blooded. They don't have that need to be like in a connection. They acted like they did. When you first met them, yes, they did. I'm hearing, man, they were nourishing. They were so attentive, so sweet. You thought, wow, this person's gonna make a great mom. This person's gonna make a great dad, to your children. Or this person's gonna make a great partner or a great grandfather, great grandmother, right? Something like that. Like they made themselves appear like, they were gonna just fit in perfectly into your life. And instead they came in and they took over your life. That's not this that's like what? That's not even close to each other. Two complete opposites. What you thought you were getting, you ended up getting the complete opposite. And because you weren't getting that satisfaction from this connection with this person, you filled it in with a pet because you're a human being and you found something that needed you, not because they were forcing you to do things, not because, you were mandatory to do things, but because you wanted to do things for that pet. It was your way of showing love to that pet. And that pet, or pets with an S, they showed their love toward you. It was appreciation. It was a two-way street. But with this person, it's not like that. This person, everything is transactional. Everything is servitude. And that's how you fell into that category of being somebody of servitude to them. You became a service. So if this person, say you and this person had children, it was a service. And the children became a service. So, see, the way that this person sees things is that everybody in their life, including their own children, if you had children with this person, is a servant to them. There's a service that person it creates for them, some kind of service, either by giving them the illusion of stability or making them look good as being a family oriented person. But there was some kind of service that child or grandchild brought to the relationship if you had children or grandchildren with this person. Okay? So the thing about this is this person is claiming that you abandoned them, you didn't abandon them. They're just making excuses up. And they're trying to make it seem like because of you doing something, you wearing something fun, something playful, something that shows that you have a playful side to your personality. It's something that just triggers this person. And for whatever reason, they feel like that's a clue that you're up to something cause, because you did it before, because you wore something that was fun before. And it could be anything, guys. It could be, it could be Batman. Maybe you're into Batman or something, right? you know, and you dress up as Batman for Halloween. It could be something as simple as that, okay? But the thing is that you are not this person's, property anymore. And I don't think this person understands that you're not their property. There's no connection between the two of you. It's you either left them and there was no marriage, or you've divorced this person. There's no connection. It's over. But the thing is that in this person's eyes, their property will always be their property, and that's very dangerous. If this is a female, doesn't matter. I know, people tend to think, well, if it's a female, it's not as a dangerous type of situation. Yes, it can be. Females could be just as dangerous as men. Okay? But the way that this person thinks, Aries, is dangerous because they still see you, and it's not just you, it's also showing children. Okay? So there's definitely children connected to this connection, either through grandchildren, maybe even adopted children could be. but they feel like they have an obligation. They feel like they have a right to you and these children. When I keep saying children, I want to make it clear. I'm not talking about like they have to be small people. They could be adults already. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Okay, but these are definitely people that are younger than y'all, and this is some people that have been raised around y'all. Definitely. So it's coming out like children. Like your own children. Okay. So anyhow, this person, something is wrong with them, Aries. The way that they see. And the thing is that because this detective is coming back and saying, no, I'm not catching Aries in anything. I'm not seeing Aries in anything. Actually, Aries looks very healthy. Things look very clear, And this person's like, no, 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 no. No, no. This person has it in their head that there was a war between the two of you, and that war is still going on. It's not over. It's just been delayed, or it's in a pause, something like that. Like there's a delay, there's a pause, but it's not over. There's still something going on, and they're trying to get something possibly for a legal matter. And I feel like this might be for one of you. Something about a legal matter might be very important, like something that something that happened. Maybe you got the house, or maybe you got the home, or you got something, okay? Or the children got something, and this person feels like they have a legal right to it, but they have to find something on you or on the children, okay? Because you and the children are like a package deal, okay? Under the same umbrella, right? So this person feels like, oh, they're gonna find something. Ooh, let me tell you, they're mad. The detective didn't give them what they wanted, and they paid that detective. And they're like, what the hell did I pay you for? You know? Where did the money go? What'd you do? And the detective was like, well, I saw Aries walk to their car, went to work, and I saw Aries get groceries. I mean, like, it's just everyday stuff. It's nothing, there's nothing that they can hold against you. And that is what's making this person angry, because there's literally nothing that they could like hold against you. There's nothing that they can like take you to court for, or bring up in court to like slander your character, or to make it seem like you're the bad guy and they're the good guy. Okay? This person has this mentality that there's always an audience, and you know that. I don't have to tell you that. You know that. They always have to have an audience. And you picked up on this, during the marriage or the connection with this person, that it's, at some point you realize that, okay, everything has to have an audience. So like when y'all were in public together, oh my gosh, this person acted like the best person. I mean, they treated you good in public. But then as soon as the door was closed, it was like a whole other person. See, and the thing about these kind of people, they do that on purpose. Because even when you complain and try to explain things to people, how things were behind closed doors, nobody's going to believe you. Because they're like, well, I saw y'all together. And I saw him do this, or I saw her do that. It doesn't appear like that to me, because how this person was in public was totally different than how they were behind closed doors. As far as the outside world is concerned, y'all were very normal. There was nothing wrong in this connection. The way that this person was controlling you was not shown on the outside. So people around you, and I'm talking about family members, neighbors, like nobody would ever think like this person was that kind of person. That they were so controlling to this point. And I'm gonna tell y'all, for one of y'all, or for maybe a couple of y'all, or a handful of y'all, the reason why this person was acting the way that they were, and they were constantly giving you this long list of chores that needed to be done, or expecting you to do this, to do that, to cook, to do, take up whatever it was, right? Pick up this, take out that, or take the kids here, take the kids there, whatever it was, right? It was to keep you busy so you wouldn't know what they were doing. You see what I'm saying? So you wouldn't be aware of what they were doing behind closed doors, because according to this person, in front of the family and everybody, things looked good. But when you were busy doing chores and all this other stuff, this person was single. This person was living a double life, okay? They were like living a total double life. And that's why they had to keep you busy, keep you exhausted, keep you tired, keep you going constantly, So, like, if you found yourself being the only person who went to, like, let's say all the school, the parent teacher meetings, right? Or all the football games or whatever it was, right? Like, you were the only person that was going to all these events. I'm hearing, like, when it came to this person's participation, there was none. That's the thing. There was none. This is what I'm talking about. Like, this person was literally, you know, they left. They abandoned you. And that's what I'm talking about, how they abandoned you. But they don't see it that way. They see it that you're no longer washing dishes anymore. They see it that you're no longer giving into what they want you to give into. And that's when the problems started. That's when they feel like the problem started. When you were no longer being subservient to them, serving a purpose for them, which is, that is not how relationships work. I don't think this person understands what relationships are. Now, this person might be in a new relationship with somebody else, but I'm going to tell you something, Aries. This person is not happy. They don't see themselves as being in a connection. Even if they're married to that person, they do not see themselves being in a connection. That person is somebody of subservience to them. You see? It's they see people as objects. Just like they still see you as being an object, they see the new person in their life as being an object. Yeah. Anyways, so if you are noticing somebody following you around, this is what's going on. You are being monitored because this person is trying to take you to court for something. Okay? It's not exactly clear what it is. Um, yeah, it's not clear what it is. Something about a school might be significant. Maybe you walk by a school, or there's some. Maybe you live near a school, or something about a school might be very significant. Or maybe you're going to school. Okay, but this person's trying to find something, guys. They want to take you to court, just so you know. Okay, they need something to take to court. Let me go ahead and give you your angel number. Spirit, give us two angel numbers here, or give us at least one. Let's see which one comes out, guys. At least one. Spirit, give us an angel number here for Aries, please and thank you. Let's see what comes out, guys. Okay, I'm going to take this one. 23. It says you have a zest for life and you are eager to experience anything and everything possible. You love change and excitement and need both to feel truly alive. For you, life is an adventure to be lived to the fullest. I am adventurous. See, and part of that being adventurous is, wearing fun clothes. Putting something fun on. That's you being adventurous. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the zest of life. Life's too short not to be happy, guys. That's the truth. Make yourself happy. Anyways, guys, if you do have something that this person wants, because obviously you do, I don't know if you know what you have, but whatever it is, if it's a house, car, alimony, I can't think of whatever else it could be. Um, Whatever it is, they want it. It could be children too. Maybe for one of you, it might be children. Okay. So, whatever it is that they want, they're definitely following you, watching you. Okay. They're looking for something to take to court. Yep. And I'm hearing you have healed from this person. And here they are coming back. And they want to give you another punch because they're angry. And this is their way of doing it. Not a physical punch, but through the courts. Okay? All right, Aries, thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I do hope this helps you out in your journey. Knowing this, knowledge is definitely power. Y'all take care. Bye bye.